Hello, hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Inglês no Rádio. This week on the show, we are bringing you to the nation's capital. We are talking about our experience in Washington, D.C. The last few days, we have talked about Abraham Lincoln, some of the cool things you can do in D.C. And today, Alexia, what are we talking about?
We are talking about the National Archives.
Yes, so the National Archives. I think before we get deep into this, it is worth mentioning that DC is one of the best places in the world to go to museums, to learn about history. We were even talking about if you are really like a history person, if you're a history buff, do you remember that word?
I do.
That's someone that really loves history. Then just visit DC. Get a cheap Airbnb, stay there for a few weeks. And the coolest thing is almost all of these museums and historical places are totally free.
Yes. That's one of the most important tips that we had to give you guys, because you can visit the archives, Lincoln Memorial, and all the Smithsonian.
Mm-hmm. Sonian. It's a really, it's a moving vowel. Sonian.
Smithsonian.
There we go. Yeah. So most of the museums in DC are free, which is amazing. And Alexia, what were you going to say?
The Smithsonian Institute is the one who takes care of most of the museums of DC, right?
Yeah.
So you can visit all the ones from Smithsonian. They are not paid. They are for free. So you get there and you just enter, and that's it.
Yeah, it's awesome. You can give donations if you want, but you don't have to pay. And it's pretty cool because DC is an expensive city in terms of eating out or renting an apartment or something like that. It's pretty expensive. But just visiting there in terms of what you're doing every day, you can do it pretty relatively cheaply.
I would say that it's a good balance.
Yeah. So today we're talking about the National Archives. Alexia, tell me about the archives. What is there? What is it?
Only the most important documents for the United States.
Yeah, not a big deal at all.
That. So the National Archives, you go in. First of all, the building is beautiful. It's amazing. It's not a museum, right? It's um instituto do governo, right?
Yeah, you could say it's a government institute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly what it says it is the National Archives.
Yeah, but
it's quite literally a building that archives all of the important documents.
Yeah, but maybe people will go there expecting to be just like the National Gallery has a lot of galleries to go inside, but it's not. It's all about the documents, the most important documents for the United States. So you're going to see documents.
Yeah.
But the documents are the Constitution, Bill of Rights, the Independence.
The
what?
Declaration of Independence.
The Declaration of the Independence.
Let's try the word independence one more time.
Independence.
Yeah. So the stress is independence. Independence. Yeah. So altogether, the Declaration of Independence.
The Declaration of Independence.
Perfect. Yeah. And those are the three most important documents in American history. And they have all of the original copies and all of the historical evidence surrounding those documents all in one place. And you can go right up to them and see them. It's crazy.
It's crazy. And when you get to this room, right, where it has all these documents, you had to wait. And then the security guard will talk to you. He's very, very nice, so sweet. And he'll tell you that you can't touch your phone, you can't take pictures. So if you have to talk on the phone, you have to leave the space of the documents and talk to the phone on the phone and then go back. So if he sees you with the phone, he'll call you out.
Yeah.
And it won't be nice because it's in the middle of everyone and everyone is silence, and he'll be there. Sir, ma'am, no phone, please. No phone.
Yeah. And it kind of made me a little sad because several times the security guard had to tell someone, hey, put up your phone. I told you you cannot have your phones here. And I realized that people just unconsciously were taking their phones out of their pockets.
Yeah, maybe just see what time is it. And
Yeah. It's just such a natural thing for
Yeah.
us to always look at our phones, even if we have some of the most important documents in the world right in front of our face. I don't think I touched my phone, but I could see it potentially happening. So, yeah, just put your phone in your bag.
Yeah, that's it. And it's a very, very secure room, has a lot of cameras and like when we were there, 2 female security guards guarding the Constitution itself. Like the Constitution was in the middle and then the security guards were on the left and on the right.
Yeah.
So you start looking through some documents that honestly I don't remember what was that about the first ones, and then you go through it and then you have the Declaration of Independence right there.
Independence?
Independence. Oh my god. Independência. Independence is different. And then the Constitution and then the Bill of Rights.
Okay, so we have 3 really important documents: the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. Alexia, a little trivia here. Do you know which document was the first document?
Of course, you have to be independent to have a constitution and then to do the Bill of Rights.
Nice. So in exactly that order, the Declaration came first, then the Constitution, then the Bill of Rights. So can you try to explain to me in a very simple way what was the Declaration of Independence?
Yeah. So, of course, the United States was still a colony of the Great Britain.
Yeah, it was a British colony.
Yes. And they said, no, not anymore. We don't want this. We want to be independent. And then they did that. Of course, it's not that simple. But
no, it's just like that. It was just a big, beautiful F-U to the British people. Yeah, we were a British colony. I'm saying we, like I was alive in 1776. But our founding fathers, as we call them, which is just a group of people in the late 18th century that decided, hey, we don't want to deal with Britain and King George anymore. Let's start our own country. And they wrote a beautiful document saying why and how they're going to start their own country. And that is what we call the Declaration of Independence.
Or the modern days, the 4th of July, that everyone goes to the streets or to whatever.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you, when did they sign the Declaration of Independence? And you already said the answer, July 4th, 1776. And that is why we call July 4th Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, that's a day where we have a lot of fireworks and eat hot dogs and go to the lake and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So after that...
Can I ask you one more trivia question about the Declaration?
Uh-huh.
Dun, dun, dun. So a lot of people signed the Declaration. Who was the first person?
I know. I know this one. John Hancock.
That's my girl.
Yes.
Yeah, so just...
I know that just to let you guys know, because Foster couldn't stop telling me this name. And I remember that we already recorded an episode or a few episodes about it, because when you had to sign a document or whatever, some people say...
Yeah, so if you are required, if someone needs his signature, it's not so common, but almost all Americans would understand this. I think it's kind of more the older generation still says this, but they say, hey, can you give me your John Hancock? Or we need your John Hancock here.
Yeah.
So it's a synonym for your signature.
Yeah. Where was he from? Which state? Do you remember?
I want to say New York.
I think it was in New York. He was the only one in that list. On that list.
I'm not positive, but I think New York.
Yeah.
Cool. So that is the Declaration. We also have the Constitution of the United States, which naturally, the Constitution is the law.
Yeah.
That is all of these different parts of U.S. law that we were establishing ourselves as a country, and it's the supreme law of the U.S.
Can I ask you a thing that I don't know if it's right, and maybe will sound a little bit dumb?
Yeah, there are no bad questions.
When the Constitution was created, I remember that there was like the people and the institution and the president. So when the Constitution was created, also the president as well, right? So the person as a president, because before that there wasn't.
Are you asking, was the Constitution created at exactly the same time as our government was being created as we know it? Yeah, I think it was more or less simultaneous. I don't know if it was the exact same day that they signed the Constitution, that also George Washington became the first American president. I don't know exactly how it worked. But yeah, it was the creation of our nation.
Yeah. Okay. I think that we should talk about the Bill of Rights on a new episode because it's so important.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So we will talk about the Bill of Rights in the next episode. But until then, I would just do a little bit of research about the Declaration of Independence, about the U.S. Constitution. It doesn't matter what you think about America, they are really revolutionary and cool documents. And there's a lot of history there.
Yes.
And if you're in DC, check out the National Archives. Totally worth it.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
We will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.